Hello and welcome to this small video on bonsai repotting. This is the first repotting of a bonsai I have done, so don't follow my guide as the only way. This is just a hobby video and a documentary of what I've done. This is my 13-year-old Ficus bonsai now, which I've had for 3 years. This was the nursery pot it was bought in. The inner plastic pot has good drainage as it has holes on the bottom, but the larger crockery pot, the plastic one sits inside, doesn't allow water to escape. I have already submerged the roots in water so the soil can naturally dissolve away, making it easy to clean the roots. And here's the new pot, a good improvement I'll say. I've done the tedious job already of wiring the mesh on the bottom in place to stop the soil mix from escaping, as well as threading 2 sets of wires through the plastic mesh to hold the tree and make it more sturdy. Here's the sorted out 4 materials. I'll create a link in the comments on where I got this bonsai mix from. Now it's time to do the big job of removing the soil from the roots. Out of all of this process, I found this was the longest of the repotting. I'm using a wooden chopstick as it won't damage the roots and it's an easy utensil to use getting into any difficult areas. You can remove young or rotten roots seen at the bottom here, but as I'm not a well-experienced repotter, I will leave them and not risk any further distress of the bonsai. It's also nice to have the old pot underneath filled with water to help wash away soil. And now all the prep work has been done. When repotting, you want to place your bonsai perfectly in the centre of the bowl at the most upright angle. I'm placing most of the Kyodama stones at the bottom for drainage. These are like pumice grit type stones which are good for filtration. I'm placing most of the Akadama clay in the middle as it has good water retention and nutrients for the roots. You can see I'm pushing and tapping the top layer, so I'm encouraging the mix to fill any and all gaps so the roots can be completely covered. As I continue, I'm adding more of the mixture but pausing to layer it up evenly so I fill any and all gaps. Finally, I've saved most of the soil to last to put on the top layer. As I'm working the sides, you can see the soil slowly sink down, filling all the small gaps on top, as well as tapping the sides, helping it all mix together. I'm now using these large shears to remove any roots on the top layer of soil, but I'll leave this big root here as it looks like it's doing a nice job and I don't want to disturb it. And finally, I'll coat the top with a mix of this sphagnum moss. I'm using this moss mainly for aesthetic reasons, but it does have a good functional role as an indicator when the roots are dry and need watering. And I'm done. So now it's time to place the wires down and find a good position to anchor the tree. Another bonus of the moss is it acts as a pillowed layer, tightly compacting all the rocks and soil, further closing any air gaps. You can see now when I knock the pot, the whole tree moves with it, so I know it's firmly held in place. One final turn and I can cover the wire with the moss. I find the next wire a lot easier to secure down, having a bit of practice. Even though it's sped up, you can see it's a great deal easier doing this one. With a bit of fussing and unnecessary pats, I think the moss is done. Ah, there we go. And this is the finished product. All you need to do now is water it thoroughly so everything compacts down. You can see the moss slightly sinking lower into the pot as I'm doing this. And the main reason why I like this new pot is you can see the water slowly, or in this case quite quickly, filling up the underplate. And there you go. I hope you found this entertaining and informative in the world of repotting bonsai trees. That's all from me. Thank you for watching.